Hi guys, it's me, Stephanie Megan, your host of Broco Therapy.
And your co-host, Rose McLeese.
You're supposed to say it, and still...
Okay, I was never sure if you liked that or not.
I kind of liked it, because it's like, I'm still here, bitches.
I'm still here, and I'm still your co-host, Rose McLeese.
And we have the motherfucking Nadege. Pleasure, science, and a pleasure hoe.
True. The best of the best. We talked about flirting. We talked about flirting styles. We talked about your amazing tracksuit. We also talked about asexual, demisexual, all the sexuals.
And what does it mean? Because I've been wondering if, like, am I a demisexual or not? We did a little quiz to see if I'm actually a demisexual or not. So find out. Wait till the end. Listen through to see if I am a demisexual.
There are clues throughout the entire podcast that will lead to the glass onion that is the answer. Is Steph demisexual? And this week's edition of Nancy Brew Drunk Detective. Sorry, I just went off the
No, but it's Halloween.
Great.
It's fine. Yes. So it works. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this episode and give us 5 stars, leave a review, show some love, spread the word, call your exes. Don't call your exes.
Please don't call your exes.
Don't do that. Enjoy the show after the break.
Girl therapy. I hate getting my blood drawn, which is ironic because I love vampires. But
yeah, but that's probably why I like it.
Yeah, I want to be bait.
I want to be bait.
Yeah.
Okay, can I say?
Okay. Oh,
because of just my thing.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Because I'm obsessed with this about the whole like vampire dragon, like Fourth Wing and Twilight and all these things. So I think girlies that are really into vampires are the best flirts.
Okay, segue because
that's the whole thing. Go.
But you, why? Elaborate on that.
I just think that because it's that whole idea where it's like, don't bite me, please. Like, but smell my neck. Like, I think there's something, I don't know, there's something about a vampire girly fan. Like, if you think about like Buffy the Vampire Slayer to like Vampire Diaries to like Twilight.
And it makes sense because like I'm not into vampire shit and I don't think I'm a big flirt.
And I feel like,
it might be a theory we need to work on.
Are you
party.
a dragon person at all? Do you like Middle Earth?
Do you like Middle Earth?
I was about to think,
do you like Middle Earth?
Do you enjoy Middle Earth?
Where do you fall on the spectrum of fantasy?
Where do you fall? Are you House of Dragons or Game of Thrones? Lord of the Rings?
I love serial killers. And I don't want to like put that into my life.
I love serial killers. And actually I could tell you why. There's a reason why we are so attracted to serial killers, and it's so fucked up and sad.
What is it?
So a lot of straight women are attracted to serial killers because we see this is a representation of a man who is passionate, committed, following through, doing what he says he's going to do, getting the job done. He's focused, he's committed. Now he's killing you. So it's like there's flaws, right? Like not perfect, but at least he follows through. And so it's that like.
And when you hear their sob story of why they became fucking serial killers, you're like, aw.
Yeah.
Hey, if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah.
That's what it's come down to. It's so fucked up, but that's
part of the reason why vampires can be hot. It's like because they're intense and they know what they want. I actually think people who like vampires are not good flirts.
Oh.
Because if we're thinking of Bella Swan from Twilight, if we're thinking of Sookie from True Blood, if we're thinking they were all, Sookie's not too passive and neither was Buffy, but a lot of them are. Like Bella Swan from Twilight was very passive.
See, but
I think, is it because she's just a character on a thing, but or like just someone who actually like likes the
people who like vampires though
that's what I'm saying. I feel like fans
because they want to be the vampire and they like or they want to be in that energy that's intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the fans versus the girls we have to be like trying to, because how many times I've like seen like anyone who loves Twilight is like, ugh, Bella, like where you been, Loca?
Where you been, Loca?
Like she's like, if I was her, it's always that, which I really like, is that you can project yourself onto being like, Bella, how are you in a love triangle between those two people? It's obvious which one you choose, right? So I feel like that's why I think vampire stans are good flirts, not maybe the girls, because also keep in mind, Buffy tried to fight her feelings for Angel for so long.
Yeah.
I think that like the women that get portrayed or the girls that get portrayed in that, because I also feel like in Vampire Diaries, Nina's character, who I can't Elena.
You could tell who likes vampires.
Yeah, exactly. Elena, I feel like she also was she was like a little, she got very passionate. You know what I mean?
She got passionate after. When like one of her men was in danger, she had like a spike of passion.
Yes.
And then every other time she was, brooding.
Exactly.
Yeah, in a hot way.
Yeah. And then I think dragon girls are kind of more like, I think they're freakier, but they just like are very much like a,
they're a little more
in the
demure.
shadows.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they have a dragon. It's like, you don't need to brag.
Yeah.
You got this big daddy over here.
Exactly. Like, you're Khaleesi. You're just like showing up and you're just like, I'm here. You're welcome. You know, it's a presence.
Yeah.
Versus a vampire girly who's kind of like, what you want to do tonight?
Yeah.
Who are you trying to suck? Like, it's, it's the flirting styles. But I guess that's like why, I was so excited, when Steph was like, I think we're going to talk about flirting styles.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I mean, last time you were on the show, we like briefly kind of talked about it, and I like hooked onto that because I was like, oh yeah, because what the fuck is my fucking flirting style? Fuck. Sorry, I said fuck so many times. I have to keep saying fuck.
That was hot.
Yeah, thank you. And then and I've been thinking about it a lot. And I even had this conversation with Brian, and I was like, how do I flirt? And he's like, honestly, yeah, like even thinking back to like when we first started dating and stuff, he's like, you're just the same. Like you're just like yourself. Because I don't really be doing too much, and so I've been trying to like backtrack to like my singleness to be like, how did I pull these, like what did I do, yeah, I don't like know what the fuck I'm doing.
Have you taken the flirt quiz?
No, I've been meaning to, but I just keep forgetting. But I'm also like, let's stock it out, but I'll take the flirt quiz because we also we should plug your flirt quiz.
Anyone. Okay, so I made, because everyone thinks they're bad at flirting, so I made a quiz that in 3 questions can tell you what your flirt style is. So we're going to go over it all today.
Yes.
But anyone can go to pleasurescience.com/flirt and also just, figure it out.
Yeah. And I think Rose, her flirting style is just...
I flirt like a dude.
She's very assertive.
Are you direct? Okay.
She's very
so
direct.
Yeah.
And makes jokes. I mean, she makes jokes over everything, but just even when she wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
When you make jokes, are you mean or are you nice?
No, I'm nice.
Nice.
I'm not a negger.
Yeah.
I'm not someone
because that is a flirt style.
Yeah. That might be my flirt style, Ferk.
Yeah. Are you like a negativer? Like you go for that, like the hey big head kind of joke.
No, I hate that though.
But you know what I mean? Like that kind of.
I think I will probably roast. I think that's I think that's what it is. It's like I'm a roaster.
Do you like being roasted?
A little bit.
Oh.
Okay. Like Brian makes fun of me and I make fun of him.
And you're like,
we just laugh at each other. And I think about it, I think it's because I grew up with all brothers and they're fucking assholes. So
and they love to roast.
Yeah, brothers love to roast. And when you're the only girl, oh my God, the amount of I also feel like it ruined my self-esteem, but like the amount of roasting and shit that like my brothers would say to me, especially my older brother, he would always be like, because I'm the only girl and we all look alike for the most, like they're my fucking siblings. Same parents. So he'd always be like, you look like a boy, you look like a monkey, you're so hairy, you're so, and so I've had to learn.
Oh my God, brothers suck.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, no, he sucks.
Fair.
So it's fine. But but like I've always had to kind of be like, well, you suck, and then
you smell bad.
Yeah. And then and so sometimes it would be a negative thing. And then sometimes it just be like, even my other brother, Rhett, like we get along really great. But like one thing I think that we bond on is like, we'll just like make fun of each other.
Yeah.
And I also just roast my dad so hard.
Yeah.
But it's like a love language. Oh my God. Okay. We figured it out. Ding.
Whoa, that was so easy.
Yeah,
you're so good at your job.
Thank you. I know I didn't have to do anything.
What are your 3?
Okay, let's go down the different ways. Yeah.
Well, so if you're thinking of flirting and you want to understand flirting, there's like some really interesting science that's helpful. So first off, humans flirt for 2 reasons. Okay. We either flirt for entertainment or we flirt for connection. So it's very normal to just like be flirty, to just and you have no expectation of yourself or another person, and that's okay.
So even just to flirt is not even like, oh, I'm trying to like get at you.
No, and
like
a lot
flirting
of times
is just like connection.
It's just entertainment.
Oh.
And like people are not conscious of that, so it's not like there are people who are manipulative and narcissistic. Most people are just like having a good time at the grocery store, and they're not even clocking that they've flirted. Because also, so there's 10 different ways that humans flirt. Everyone has a dominant flirt style and a secondary flirt style that sort of supports and it's almost like you could think of like the attachment styles, or you could think of the love languages. Like there's all these different archetypes, but you're never just one. You're usually an amalgam of several. And so with the flirt styles, anyone really can actually, like I've had people take the quiz and then at the end they see their results in all the flirt styles and they're like, I feel like I'm a little bit of all of them. And that's also normal because humans do mirror match others. Mm-hmm. So it's normal for if you meet someone who isn't like your flirt style, but you want to impress them, you might just mirror them and all of a sudden you're not actually doing your own flirt style, but like they might, but to answer both of you, so I think that you are a confident flirt and a playful flirt, and I think you're definitely a teasing flirt, and I also think you're a subtle flirt.
Oh, for sure.
I'm definitely a subtle flirt.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I hit up Brian because I was interested in getting to know him, but I knew like he probably wouldn't have gone maybe like a sign that I was interested in doing it, but also I don't like to be obvious.
Yeah.
Like I don't want them, like I feel like Rose is like, I want to make sure he knows I'm flirting.
I'm like
that.
He
knows that I'm interested.
I'm also a confident playful.
Yeah.
And to my detriment sometimes. Because I'm like, I just made an ass out of myself and you don't like me.
Yes. Or the opposite where it's like, oh, you think I like you.
Oh, God. I'm too friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bad.
And for me, like I like to be like kind of like under the radar, but also like get you like to, I like to make them think a little bit too, like wonder.
Because so might actually be a more mysterious flirt, because a subtle flirt is someone who is very subtle. They like friendship. And actually, they're not very verbal, so you'd probably be more sincere than subtle. But what's interesting with the flirt styles is there's ones that are very verbal and ones that are very nonverbal. Because humans also, like when we're thinking of human connection, people can be very verbal or nonverbal, and that matters. Like I am a yapper, and so I need to be with someone who's a good listener or also a yapper. But if you're not a communicator, if you're not a talker, you don't like talking, like we will hate each other. And so my flirt styles are all verbal ones. And so the sincere flirt style is a very verbal person who's very focused on friendship. So their flirt style is very difficult to see because it'll be like, I love your jumpsuit, Steph, and your hair looks great. And tell me about your day. And they are flirting. They're asking all these questions, but to the naked eye, it feels like friendship. And even to them, they're like, I know I'm interested, but I'm not giving you those cues.
Oh, that's
subtle.
Neat.
Yeah.
Because with Brian, because what I did to like kind of show that I was interested, but I wanted to talk was like, hey, because he requested for like a topic on the pod. I was like, just so you know, we did this topic. It's gonna be out on this day, And then I was like, yeah, and like, whenever you're in LA, like, let me know, and we could like, hang out and like, whatever. And then Brian was just kind of like, what? Like, who just? And we've never met in person. It was only like we've
Good
only just followed each other, But I was just trying to be like, let you know, like, yeah, hit me up. But I'm not gonna be like, I'm interested. I like you. I think, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna.
That would be.
You're like, she's kind of.
That's the confident flirt, which is a misnomer. I think it should actually be called the bold flirt, because the confident flirt is not always confident. It is bold behavior. And bold behavior gets misunderstood as confidence.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time. Yep. Like, I have always been a quote unquote confident flirt for purely the sake that I will walk. If I think you're cute, I will walk up to you. And like, I have more regrets. It'll keep me up at night if I don't try. I cannot be demure, but I'm mindful. But I can't be demure. I have to know. And it's so funny because I recently had a crush on this porn star. And
Hot.
I found out that he thought I was hot. So I got I was like, we're going to get married.
Yes.
And we're going to be a power couple. And so anyway, so then I go into La La Land for like a month, create all this yearning, and we see each other at a party, and it is like not a vibe because he's not very verbal. He's not like a talker, and and like it was such a bummer. But as a bold flirt, I went up to him like a couple of times because I'm like, I need to make sure because I'm so attracted to you and I like really admire you that if we're not gonna be a thing, I would be pissed if I didn't 100% know. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, but it sucked because then on the flip side, I got like rejected ultimately and it felt really shitty. But then recently, another situation happened where I met a guy at a sex party months ago and he lives far. He lives in another city. So I was like, oh, he's so wonderful and perfect. And we fuck like champs. Like, God bless.
Yeah.
And I was
sports side showing.
Yeah. But if we were in the same city, I would have loved to date him. But like, I didn't want to try to pursue whatever. And then I found out recently he's like actually now seeing someone else. And the regret and the pain I felt for not giving it my all was so severe. And it was so actually a relief and really grounding because what happened with the porn star made me feel kind of embarrassed because I was like, you don't like me and I think I'm likable. But like people are also not allowed to like, they're allowed to not want me. Like that's okay.
Right.
But finding out that this other guy who I liked, and I never told him I liked him. So we had this whole thing. We slept together. We were very clear on our expectations, not trying to be boyfriend, girlfriend. And then I find out like, you know, a couple months goes by. Like I said, we live in different cities, right? So it's not like we're talking all the time. And then I hit him up being like, you know, hey, like I could use some vitamin D, you know?
Yeah, hey.
And then he's like, I'm so glad, you know, you reached. And he was super, like couldn't have been sweeter, but like told me he's in a relationship. And I felt such deep regret for never telling him I liked him. And
vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah.
Just hit you real hard.
It did, but that was a good thing to learn about myself where I'm like, I'd rather be bold and embarrass myself and have that be the pain than not. Like, I can't do that, what you do. I like literally.
I mean, I feel like for me, yeah, because it's like I was confident in it. I wasn't like not confident he was going to like me. I just was like, I don't know. Yeah, I like to be a little bit like nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like if I was a guy, it'd be annoying because it would be like, do you even fucking like me, bitch? Like, you know, like I've dated guys where I'm like, does he even like me? Because they always like play it cool. Like I'm like a play it cool type of person.
Yeah, I can't play it cool.
And
That's
but then it always like backstabbed me in in a lot of ways. But
it sounds like there's confidence involved in all of them.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like the name of the confidence. I feel like the bold flirt style. It just is because that's what that is. But yeah, so those are several flirt styles. And the main reason why people think that they can't flirt is because in every major TV, film, everything, you always have the confident flirt going after the mysterious flirt. And it's like, I don't even need to tell you what those archetypes mean for you to know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And so if you're not a mysterious flirt where you're mostly nonverbal but very like alluring, great at eye contact, like you do have a way of drawing people to you, or if you're not that bold, assertive type, everyone is like, oh, if I can't do one of those two things, then I don't know how to flirt.
I hate eye contact.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was like, wait, they do. That's not me.
Oh my God.
I'm like, don't even like, those like,
Don't look at me.
like those like TikToks where it's like, oh, me when I'm interested in a guy and they're like not even looking at them. That's me.
Fair. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
No.
You know?
I mean, I don't know how.
I mean, when I'm not interested in someone, I'm like, hey. You
Yeah.
know?
Then you're doing it. Even then, you were avoiding eye contact, which I think is great.
What?
You were like, hey.
Yeah. But
eye contact is not your jam. That's okay.
I mean, not for like a long time. Like, you know, and so to communicate with my eyes, like even right now, I don't even want to look at you guys just because I'm thinking about it. So like, just to even communicate.
Cover your eyes. Just
Even communicate with my eyes is like, oh my, I don't do that. But you know, intimacy issues.
Yeah,
too,
and with that, with the eyes, so then how does physical flirting kind of play into?
There is a physical flirt style.
Okay.
Oh, that's all
that
by
is
itself?
one of them, all by itself, because touch is, so a physical flirt style is someone who's usually nonverbal, or that could be a secondary style. So maybe they're playful and but they'll be like,
oh, I hit them a lot.
you know?
Let's go through all of them and just say yay or nay. Okay.
Sorry.
I love this.
I'm like, oh yeah, I hit them.
What do you not like about? Because you're not like we've talked about this where we're not really physical friends. Like we don't really like I'm not a huge hugger. Yeah. Like I think it's.
I like it now that I'm older, but it had to be a conscious choice, and I have to because my family was not very affectionate.
Same.
Yeah. Okay, all three of us have that.
But I love hugs now.
Yeah.
If when I get them,
But if I hug my friends, if like it's just like a
side hug or like a
I've gotten better at like really hugging friends and like being like hold me because
oh god, do you want to hold each other later?
Do you want? Yeah, I would like that. It's okay. I'll just do it with Jasper or Junie. It's fine. Yeah, I'll do it with your cat. I do it with bats,
you are not a physical flirt style.
No, but I mean I hit them. Like I remember
isn't a behavior that would be more of a teasing flirt style behavior.
Okay.
So earlier when I was asking when you were talking about the jokes and making jokes, so two flirt styles that are really common is the teasing flirt style and the playful flirt style.
Okay.
So I'm a confident playful flirt. I like to make you laugh. Playful and teasing, they like to be funny, make you laugh. But the teasers are mean. That's the neggers. And then
my tracksuit because I'm in the playground.
There you go.
And then the teasing flirt is like, I'm gonna make fun of your face because I like you so much. I'm gonna like poke the bear because I like you. And so hitting. That is more of a teasy flirt, less of a physical.
I also think it's like a Filipino culture thing because I feel like I also see on Filipino TikTok where it's like when you're dating a Filipina and then they're like, ha ha ha, they smack you because it's just like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's just like a part of like a thing that gets passed down in generations within the culture.
Yeah.
But I remember I dated this guy, shout out to Black Nick, because there was a white one too.
There was
and
a white
had
Nick.
the same last name except one was Robertson and one was Robertson. But anyway, it was the black one without the T.
Yep.
I remember we were, it was when we were dating, he like looked at me, he was like, Can you just stop hitting me? Like you just smack me all the time. And I was just like, I'm not like, because I'm not like doing it out of like anger or anything.
Yeah,
like, I'm doing it out of just
you're not even,
exactly.
Like you're not even aware.
Yeah, like I couldn't. But he was like generally like, dude, stop.
Yeah, he didn't want to. He doesn't like the physical touch. He's not that.
Well, he just doesn't want to be hit.
Well, yes,
he doesn't want to be smacked around, which is fair. Yeah, but not smacked around. Like he's not. He didn't take it as like a flirting style. He took it as like abuse.
See, and then that's not a good match.
Yeah, not a good match, and
But also fuck him. But anyways,
okay, cool.
Yeah,
I don't know any. Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
Sorry, Black Nick. Fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so then there's physical, playful, teasing, bold,
sincere, subtle. Another really interesting one is the complimentary one.
Okay.
So this is where like you start complimenting.
Yes.
That's like if you like someone, you're just going to start complimenting. This is a hard flirt style actually because compliments are conversation closers. They're not conversation openers. So if you think about it, like if I were to look at you and say like, Rose, I love your glasses, you'd be like, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a complimentary person. I think if I'm going to be nice and flirty, like I think that was always like my thing if I was at a party or like a bar and I wanted to get someone's attention. I wouldn't do it by eye contact. I'd be like, hey, like really like your
And so people make the common mistake with flirting or trying to give flirty cues of trying to compliment someone. Mm-hmm. And it's not a good way to go about it because you're not opening the conversation and creating more. And so if you're someone who your instinct is to compliment, you want to find something like your nails would be perfect. Rose, I love your nails. Where did you get them done? Oh. What made you decide? There and now.
Sam, OG nails. She's the best.
But yeah, right. So now we've established, do you like nails? We have something to talk about.
Yes. Okay.
Versus, oh, Rose, I like your nails. And then conversation is closed.
Yeah.
So there has to be like a
but
little.
But sometimes, I will say, sometimes it has worked in a sense of like, maybe it's going back to like my mysterious part of it where it'd be like, oh, like, love, your jacket or something. And I'd be like, oh, thank you. And I'd be like, I'd smile, then I'd walk away, but then eventually, like, I think there have been a lot of times where they would, like, we would see each other out, you know, in the same night, and they'd be like, oh, hey. And like, they would then kind of approach me.
And it is like, it's a good, like, it's not like it's a bad, like, if you want to approach someone, approach them. Because the other really interesting thing about flirting is it takes humans on average 30 nonverbal cues to realize two people are interested in each other. So if you're at a bar and like you see this gorgeous tracksuit across the room and, you know, and then we're making eye contact, Steph is jiggling. I don't know that the jiggle's for me, right? Hey, like, but you'd have to do 30 of these.
Yeah.
30 of the eye contact.
Let's go.
You know?
You ready?
Yeah.
You're interested?
Yeah, exactly.
Bathroom?
Yeah, ladies' room?
Yeah. Do this 30 times.
Wow,
Yeah.
30 of them.
30 on average. And so whatever your flirt style is, the best way to flirt is to go up and say something. Go up and say hi.
Okay.
Go up and say hi. I think you're cute. Go up and compliment. Like, even though compliments, like, that's almost like a 2.0 tip of like, oh, compliments are conversation closers. But if that's what you got, like, the best thing to do is go up and say like, oh, I like this, or I think you're cute. Honestly, I think the best thing you could do for flirting is go up to someone and just say, hey. And if you're really courageous, you say, hey, I think you're cute.
Yes.
But either way,
That's I love that. I just go,
Yeah.
oh,
Tell her what you've
people
done.
want
Tell her what you
permission.
do.
They want to know. They
Yeah.
want it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll go up to a guy and I'll just like look at him and then I'll like trace his jawline. I'll just go, ooh, ungodly thoughts. And I'll walk away. Or I'll be like, I really like that shirt. I think it would look so much better on me. Or like, you know, I would love to see you wearing it tomorrow morning. Or like, you know, something of that sense. But the weird thing is when you were getting all weird about the types of flirting, the complimentary one, absolutely not. I hate complimenting men. I do not know why. I think it's my weird like feminist
But that's
little heart.
complimenting and being like, oh, the jawline.
Yes, and which is why it's so interesting because I think I'm doing it because it services me. Like when I give someone a compliment, it's usually to like where I'm like, oh my God, like when I saw you, I was like, holy shit, this outfit is hot. Like I'm giving it to people that I like want to make them feel special. I don't really want to make men feel special sometimes.
They get it too much from society for me to feel. I'm the same where it's like men get too much from society for me to want to just like give the compliments.
It depends on the guy because sometimes
that's
like,
true.
Because
Actually,
sometimes
that's a good point.
Like there's certain guys that are like way too confident. They're like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to compliment you.
Calm the fuck
Right,
down.
but if you're still a little nerdy guy,
Oh,
you know, maybe he needs a little boost. You know,
I
a
do
little
love
bit
to
of
give them confidence.
yeah. Like you you always feel the energy where you feel like you know that they would like want to hear that. Not
the
that they're
ones
like
who deserve them.
yeah, the ones who deserve them. Like you
Yeah.
always could kind of sense that, like
Yeah.
you know, versus like maybe some guys who are like way too like you're fine. You don't need another.
And it's a balancing act because
Yeah.
you're also because there's the 30 cues, physical
Right.
cues, and then it's also like you're saying I have to understand. I just learned that you don't like these certain types of flirting styles. So then it's like I don't know that about you as I'm hitting on you at Club Bro Girl Therapy. So then it's
Club
like this,
BGT.
it's that idea
Virgil.
of like trying yes, the Virgil pretty much. It's that balancing act of trying to also sense what they are coming as too, because what I really loved when you were describing at the beginning, which I would love to hear your opinion on, is you kept saying like, oh, I've embarrassed myself instead of saying you've been rejected.
Yeah.
Which I think is so important because people, again, I think it's for guys who are like, oh, I've always rejected. Like I hit on girls and I get rejected. And it's like, no, it's just you tried. Like there's nothing like being rejected. It's not. I understand that there's some people that are very mean about rejection, and that's like, stop. You got someone tried. Like just be nice anytime, even when I'm not interested. And a guy approaches me, I'm kind of like. I know it takes a lot of fucking nerves to go up to a girl, especially when she's with her friends. It is scary. So I at least give them like, oh, thanks, you know, and I'll talk a little bit and then be like, okay, thank you. Like being nice at least. But how would you give advice to someone who is kind of stepping into their flirting style and is very scared of this idea of rejection or being embarrassed or not having a result, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, getting embarrassed is a good result because you've done something. But I will say with rejection, people never reject you as a person. They reject the offer being presented, you know?
Ooh.
So if someone doesn't want to hang out with you, maybe it's because they don't want to date right now. Maybe it's because they're not emotionally available. Maybe it's because they don't want to have sex. Maybe they're rejecting the offer. And a piece of the offer is like, yes, it has to do with you. You're presenting the offer. There's a personal element. Like, you're human. You're going to feel bummed. Mm-hmm. You might question your worth, but it's really important to have resilience and bounce back from that quicker and quicker and quicker. And you do that by taking risks and going out and talking to people and realizing it's not a big Are you raising your hand with a question or just
I'm raising because I want to say something before Rose gets into it, because that's me being like, once she's done, I'm slipping.
Yeah, slip in. I don't know. Slide into my DMs,
but no,
baby.
finish your thought.
What was it? But yeah, no. And the other thing I'll say about rejection is protection. It is redirection. When people are nervous about flirting and they find out about the flirt styles, you're so right that the first thought is okay, how do I hack this and make sure I have everything in my brain and I say the right thing? Right. You're going to be nervous and having adrenaline when you flirt, and that's part of the fun of it. Mm-hmm. And so knowing your flirt style is a great thing to know about yourself. It's a great way to try to find compatible people. Like for me, right, when I was flirting with this guy who ended up rejecting me, a part of that rejection was just he was not very verbal. And so, to paint a picture of that night where I got rejected and felt embarrassed, I go to this party, I realize my crush is there. And so then I go up to talk to our whole group of friends. We had friends in common. And then me and him didn't really talk much. And then, the party goes on. And then I notice a little bit later, I'm oh, he's kind of on his own. This is a good opportunity to go back. So then I made the move. I went back. I tried to talk, and it was not easy. And then at one point he kind of said he's better behind a screen. He's better at texting. And then for me, I'm red flag. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not good at texting.
I'm not good at texting.
FaceTime me.
I want to talk. I want to yap.
Yeah,
and I've dated people who are not yappers, but they're listeners and they love being with a yap,
Yeah.
But this guy didn't feel that way. It didn't.
My
it
type.
felt same. Yeah. Give me a quiet, good listener. But yeah. So with this guy, part of the rejection was the moment wasn't going well, so that in itself felt like rejection. Mm. And then he said the thing about behind a screen, and then in my head I'm we're probably not going to be a good fit. But then he was I was still I didn't get an answer, and I need an answer. I want to know. Yeah. And so then I ended up sliding into his DMs because I'm well, if he's better behind a screen, let me try that. And then that was when I felt rejected, where he didn't open the message, but he has opened my messages in the past. So I'm ooh, this feels like you chose not to open a message, so you didn't want to leave me on red. Yeah. It felt I know I slid into his regular DM box. I think you know what I mean? So I'm okay, you chose to just not have this continue in any way. Yeah. And so that was the moment that felt like rejection, but it also felt like closure. And that's an important way to look at it too. Yeah. Rejection is an answer. You want the answers. And dating and being successful is not about having good dates and getting fucked. It's about getting answers and putting yourself out there. If you're doing the single life right, you know what your options are and who wants you and who doesn't. And when you have a crush, you figure out the answer. Oof. And that's really the big difference. But people don't have that perspective. And then the media gives us a different perspective of oh, if you're doing the single life, then you've got
Carrie Bradshaw prancing around in her skirt
you've got
heels.
Two brothers trying to date you and their dad's trying to date you too. And and then they all dump you, but now you're a lesbian and it's fine. And there's just an endless amount of you falling in love. That's not how it goes. And dating is fun when you have the right mindset.
Right.
But part of developing that mindset is putting yourself out there, getting rejected, getting embarrassed, and doing it again and again. So that way, with the guy who rejected me, I felt so bummed for I don't know, maybe a week. There were a solid 2 days of I want to die. And then 5 days of just emotional hangover. And then I'm cool, I'm back.
Yeah.
And then, went on a trip and then started seeing someone else, and so it's okay.
It's a purge.
And it's and you'll never say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. And you'll never be chosen incorrectly. You know, what's meant for you will come to you. So it's like important to have all of those mantras as you go through the process of dating. And so knowing the flirt styles is helpful. But my goal when I teach people about the flirt styles is that people are confident in their way of connection. So when you know your flirt style, you know what locations to go to set yourself up for success, right? Like a subtle flirt who is nonverbal, great at a concert, terrible on a dinner date.
Oh, okay. I get it.
I think I'm good at a dinner date.
Yeah, you'd be more a sincere flirt.
Yeah,
I think than a subtle.
I love to yap. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not gonna be like yapping about, fucking you. I probably won't, say anything like. I won't. I'll talk and I'll be present, but I won't probably.
All the yappers are not like, don't go on a date where you can't yap.
Yeah.
Don't or even don't put yourself in a position to flirt where you can't yap. Like
I need to yap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what's great about the flirt styles. It's like less about trying to show up and be perfect. It's more about like, okay, you can now know where to go to set yourself up for success. You know more or less who you're more compatible with. So like example with porn star guy, I'm like, we're not that compatible. Like that's like we're not even flirting well together. Because I'm bold and I'm playful, so I'm very talkative and I'm very like, let me make you smile. And I don't know what his flirt style was because he wasn't very verbal, but he wasn't buying what I was selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like when you know the flirt styles, at least for me, the peace of mind is, I didn't do anything wrong. We're not compatible. And so that's what's helpful. But and so for me, it's like less about being like, let's give you the script to make sure you always get it right, because that's what people want. And that's not the human experience.
Yeah.
No.
I will say, because... Do you want to talk about your interaction with or?
I had an interaction with a gentleman who it was very obvious that we were flirting, right? And I thought we were matching each other's energy flirting wise. And then I basically made a joke of like, hey, if you ever want to fuck, like I'd be down. And he was like, haha, sure. And I was like, yeah, just name a time and place. And he was like, okay. And I was like, it's never going to happen. I was like, oh, this is just not going to happen. Yeah. And then Steph was like, well, I think that he kind of flirts like me. And if a guy had done that to me, I wouldn't have, how did you phrase it? You just like, you would have been turned off, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fair. So then I sent a follow-up to be like, hey, I also understand that like, you might not be on the same level as me. Maybe we can like hang out and like, vibe. It doesn't have to just be sex. And radio silence.
Well, I just want to preface that like this was like the first time you met this person.
Yes.
So like, and in this particular, let's give him a name. Let's call him
Hagrid. Yeah.
We'll call him Hagrid.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah, we'll call him Hagrid. I think it's perfect.
I think it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yep.
It's perfect because it's not so perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. Anyways.
I love it.
So Hagrid and Rose had just met, and something about Hagrid is like he's very sweet. He's very like he's friendly. Like he's really like talkative. He's a yapper. However, like he's not maybe the most straightforward, because I think that he is like someone that it takes time to like get to know. Like he doesn't give you like who he is right off the bat. Like he might just like package it really well, and it might just take a moment to get to like, well, like what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? So he's just someone that I think is like, not only does he take time to open up to people, I think that he would, like I would assume in a situation when he's flirting and getting to know somebody, would just need to take time to get to a point where they talk about like, or they, how Rose approached him essentially. Like
then there was like these weird moments.
But he was definitely interested. Like he was definitely like, he liked it. He felt like he was vibing with it. And I think that like he did, but I think what I feel like maybe would have thrown him off was like, oh, now let's go do the things that we were just saying that we were doing.
Yeah, like I called him on his bluff.
Yes, but I think there's something like I'm like this too, where I like a build up. I like the little bit of the mystery. I like, let's be playful with it, but I also like, I want to build the tension. Yeah. I don't want to just like right away, or else it just takes away the
so
fun.
That to me is less flirt style and more your erotic blueprint, which is almost like the 5 love languages for sex. And one of them is the energetic type, where in order to like be excited about sex, arousal, connection, you need like yearning, distance, energy, will they, won't they. The other types are the sexual type, where it's like you're like a microwave, you're ready. There is the kinky type, which is less about BDSM and more about like what excites you about sex and arousal is something that's taboo or something you shouldn't do. That's like, you know, like tell me I can't date him, daddy, and I will. You know, that's like, or you can
tell me we can't fuck in this public bathroom, you know?
And now I want to.
Yes.
And then I always do this where I always forget like the 5th one of any of these like archetype things, but we had energetic, sensual. This is where you really like softness, sensuality, but more importantly, also like the aesthetic of the space needs to be at a certain level. So like this is someone who like they could go on a great date, go home with someone, and then be like, your apartment is a mess. You don't really have style or furniture. The sensual archetype person, like that will take away their libido because it's the whole experience. So it's not being shallow. It's actually like, it's someone picking up usually subconsciously that they're like, I can't surrender to an erotic moment and access arousal because this space does not feel sensual, cozy, and aesthetic.
That is why I can't hook up at other guys' houses. Like, I have to be at my house, and I am all about it. Literally, men are always like, whoa, the vibe you set up, the music, the lights, the whole, like, the AC.
So
like, I have the whole aesthetic of the tree house becomes the tree house after night. Hey. You know what I mean? I'm all into the aesthetics of that because I have had so many times where I've been like, so into a dude, and then Miller is an example, so into a man, and then I see his house and I'm like, this is disgusting. Yeah, they immediately almost kind of, I'm turned off by them in a weird way.
You stop admiring them.
Yeah, like one time this guy kept on sending me dick pics and I was like, send me a photo of the bottom of your socks. And he was like, why? I was like, I need to know how dirty your floors are in your house because I know they're hardwood floors. So let me see the bottom of your socks.
Do they have a top sheet or not?
Do you have a top sheet or not, bro? Like, these are important things. So I just, okay.
But so sensual type. So it sounds like this guy, I mean, we don't know, but might be an energetic, because an energetic arousal archetype will be turned off from to direct, like giving it to them right away, versus a sensual or a sexual archetype would love it. Kinky archetype most likely would love it. Sensual wouldn't, like that could, for them it's more like touch and coziness and aesthetic can take libido away.
Got it.
But it's so that to me is has to do, I think, more with like a flirt with the arousal erotic
versus the flirting style.
Okay. Then with what you always bring up,
because I remember you were like, when we were talking about it, you were texting him and you were like, I'm giving him sex, isn't that what everybody wants?
I was like, I'm giving you pussy on a platter.
Yeah, I'm like, yes.
And then for some people, that's the opposite, because it takes away the yearning.
Yes,
and it takes away the
build up, the mystery.
But I do want to say, like, that's not everybody, right?
Yeah,
so it's like, because I'm like you. We're similar. We're very similar.
And I feel like me and Hagrid. Like, I felt like I related to him in that moment because I was putting myself in his shoes and I was like, oh, he's kind of moving like how I probably would have moved. Yeah. You know?
The only problem, though, that makes you so amazing and different is you didn't lead me down that way, because the way he was saying things. So while we were hanging out, this other guy who's very hung up on me was like we were listening to music in my car, and this guy like called me 6 times, left a 10-minute voice memo, and literally Hagrid was like, bro, I need to know what your pussy like, because this is crazy. He was like, you must have some good shit. And I was like, I do. And he was just like, I want to know. So he was doing the like setting up this where I was like, okay, then in a weird way, I hate to say it, but I feel like I called him out on his bluff. I was like, I'm down to hook up. And then he was just kind of like, and I'm like, okay.
Well, I think I probably, I mean, who knows? I probably would have, probably made someone feel that way, and unintentionally though, because I don't think he was like intentionally trying to do that to you. Like, it wasn't like, let me bring that down and then like, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
I think, but it's like, I'm sure. I mean, I've definitely have had moments where like with with guys or in certain situations, they're like, oh, like I thought, and I'm like, no, like I need more time, or I'm not like there yet. Like I know.
Yeah, but you heard like how not aggressive's not the right word, but like the words he was using, like being like, I need to know what this pussy's like if this guy's calling you 6 times.
So it feels like it's matching your energy, and it isn't.
Exactly. It was it's kind of the top. How did you say?
But I also think, I think there was a little bit of like
secondary. Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of like talk there in a sense of like he was like, because like your sense of humor is very much like that, like, oh yeah, this person's too good, like you were making jokes like that. I think that he was also trying to like match that banter too,
for sure.
But I don't think it was, but I also know like in your headspace, understanding how like that could be like led on and thought like, okay, yeah, like, okay, we're down here at this point, you want this pussy, I'm gonna give you this pussy. But to him, that doesn't always mean he was just matching your banter because he liked the attention, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he was like ready for that pussy just yet. But
he was in the other texts. Do you know what I mean? Like in the other, like, because he initiated the like, so are we really doing this? And I was like, oh, if you're down, I'm down. Like that was like when we had dropped you off, and he was just he was like, I mean, you down on some late night tip? And I was like, yeah. Like, it was, again, one of those things where it was like he went a little further.
Okay.
And so then it was like me being like, okay. And then, we were like, I was like, hey, like, I thought about like what you said. And I do feel like there was some like sexual tension between us. Like, are you like really down?
But do you think it's because something about Hagrid is that he's also like a little bit of like that old schoolness, a little bit of like the man has to take the lead, that I think that like your dominant personality, although it was fun to banter and to flirt with in that moment, it was like, oh, she's really dominating and almost like leading the way for us to do this. It almost maybe would have like not felt as much exciting, you know what I mean? Versus when he did went to you and said, hey, yeah, like it was almost like he was the leader, he was in control, he was the man in the situation. And then when that gets switched, now you're like, oh yeah, like I'm, then that might be something. I'm curious.
Yeah, well.
It could be. I also think like something that's so frustrating is just people don't know how to communicate when it gets ambiguous.
Yeah, and
also
when you're not. He did say he sucks at communicating. He did mention that a few times, but anyways, yeah.
No, but they all say that.
Yeah, I was saying men suck at communicating. They know how to communicate, that they're bad at communicating.
Yeah.
Ain't that communication?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is that. And I'm one of those people where I'm like, oh, I will over communicate. Like I'll be like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, my other thing though is that it
just doesn't match your frequency on that,
Oh, I thought you were saying match my freak.
And that too, your frequency.
Hey.
But yeah, and it does it. But it was also one of those things where, obviously when I was like, so yeah, like tell me when you're free, and he was like, haha, sure. And I was like, oh yeah, this is never
yeah.
Like there was no rejection or embarrassment, because I kind of was like, oh, I just feel like the best way I can describe it is I just was like, oh, obviously our vibes didn't match, and one, I don't think he can keep up with me. Like I feel like
I don't think he can keep up with you.
I would eat this man alive.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
I don't think he can keep up with you.
And then the notion of, oh, I called you out on your bluff, and that's okay. That's fine. We are just both flirts, and that's it. So from now on, we are always just gonna be flirting, and that's what I also love, is just knowing that I have a relationship with someone where that is what I do with them.
Yeah.
Like we just flirt.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys that I've recently been kind of like, I've had sex with and then just haven't really connected with. And then now it's just like, we're not friends, because it's really hard for me to be friends with men once I've had sex with them. I'm trying.
I mean, you also don't have to if it doesn't like improve your life and lifestyle and contribute to your growth.
Yes. And there are making exceptions, because there are some guys that I'm like, oh, I enjoy your presence.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy like there's like two that I'm like, I like these guys. But it's that idea where I'm like, oh, but I just like flirting with them. It's kind of like a fun thing. But that brings me to what you talk about, which is the demisexual.
Yeah, the demisexual. So like, okay, let's be honest. So I did an episode with Vanessa, and it was a great episode. We talked about like when she mentioned her being demisexual, and I was shocked by that, especially because she's so like such a public figure in the sex space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that I was like, really? Because I would just assume that, and I think maybe you would probably assume this with me, because I talk openly about sex, that it's just like, yeah, like we're down, whatever. Like we could just do it transactionally, whatever. But like in actuality, no, like connection is like a huge part of that. So I did an episode. Someone did comment on Spotify saying that they were, I don't remember verbatim what the comment said, but basically just saying like, oh, this is not demisexual and like this is not like asexual, demisexual, or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, we're going to have Nadege on, who's a professional who, and I know you've talked about that too.
I have at length, yeah.
That I was like, I think like we should really give a good like description of what that is and like a breakdown of what that is.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Yeah, so I'm happy to give a breakdown of everything and kind of talk about how I feel like the term demisexual has really taken off, and actually like people in the asexual community do have some very valid like hurt and concerns about the way that people have like really attached themselves to the demisexual experience. But so for anyone listening, and so and we'll dive into that because it's important and it's something that's interesting to know. So in order to understand what asexual people are, we need to understand sexual orientation. So the big mistake a lot of people make is they assume that if you're asexual, you do not have libido or a sex drive, which isn't true. All humans have libido and sex drive. You could be asexual and have a high sex drive. That is completely normal. Or you could be asexual and not experience much libido, and that's normal too. But asexuality is a sexual orientation, not a marker of arousal. And a sexual orientation talks about who you're attracted to. So a lesbian is attracted to women. That makes that person a lesbian.
Okay.
A straight man is also attracted to women. That makes him a straight man. An asexual person does not experience attraction to other people, and that makes them asexual. Notice has nothing to do with libido.
Yeah,
right?
Got it.
Yeah.
So an asexual person could be walking around being like, you know, I'm not really stimulated or I don't need a sexual connection, but every now and then I masturbate because my body activates, and that's just natural. And there's a lot of asexual people who are in long-term relationships where sex is not like centered, you know? Now, demisexuality came in later in the game. So when we're thinking of asexuality too, something that really messed up that happened in the sex education and sexology world, if anyone is familiar with Alfred Kinsey, who is alive many decades ago, he was a sexologist. He created the Kinsey scale, and in Indiana, there's a school like if you study sex, you know, the Kinsey Institute. So he was a bigwig. And what Alfred Kinsey did, he was creating the Kinsey scale. When he was creating that, the Kinsey scale is a scale that basically if you're on one end of it, you're straight. If you're on the other end, you're gay. And if you're in the middle, you're bisexual. And it was a very rudimentary entry-level way of introducing like sexual orientation and the spectrum of desire to people. Now, as Alfred Kinsey was doing all this research and creating the Kinsey scale, again, this was many decades ago, when he was doing that, he started to come across people who experienced no sexual desire for other people. He didn't know what to do with this population, and so he labeled them people X, and he actually hid the research.
Oh, shit.
So then asexual people, as sexual orientation hit the mainstream, there was a huge demographic of people who did not have something to call themselves, who were not like, I'm not a lesbian, I'm not that, I don't have, and there's no language for it. Now, enter the 1990s, a couple decades after Alfred Kinsey releases all of his research. In the 1990s, we start seeing blogging, the internet, people can connect. And there was a big boom in asexual culture because people were able to connect across and be like, wait, you too? You too? You too? And that's how we started to understand how big the population was. And we started to realize asexuality is a spectrum, and it's quite diverse in how people experience asexuality.
Oh.
Now, on that spectrum is something called demisexuals. Demisexuals are people who do not experience sexual arousal until after a friendship or deeper connection is formed. I'm also, I'm pretty demisexual myself. Like when I read that, I was like, oh my God, that's me. I grew up my whole life wishing I was a Samantha and like forcing myself to be sexual because I thought, you know, I like raped myself quite a lot when I was younger. That's what it felt like because I was just putting myself out there. And then when I was older and discovering and like researching sex and and I discovered demisexuality, I was like, oh my God, this is me. I experience desire. Like, I want to rip your clothes off after we're friends.
Yeah.
And like, we were even talking about sex parties, Steph, and how like you and I are similar in that, like, I go to a lot. I know every sex party that is happening in the United States and Europe. I'm almost over it at this point, even though I shouldn't. It's like good problems. I know every sex party, every condom, I know it. And I don't really fuck at most of them because I'm demisexual. And so I go there, I have an amazing time. I love it. It's quite rare that I actually have sex when I'm there, unless I've already brought a date that I know. I can count on my hand how many times I've had sex at a sex party, and I have been in this industry for 15 years, and I'm a big slut. So that's saying something, right?
Yeah.
And so, so as demisexuality became more known, it started to overshadow asexuality. So now if we want to fast forward to culturally, what's going on is because I've had this too. I made a video on TikTok about how I think Wednesday Addams is asexual, and another person, like, you could fight me on it, you guys. She is not attracted to these men. Like, like she's gay for Enid before she is hetero for these men.
Absolutely,
she's and I love it for her.
She wants to fuck the monsters, not the men that the monsters are.
Yeah, like literally, it's and I love the whole Wednesday thing. And Jenna Ortega, you are an icon. All love to everyone a part of the show. But anyway, I make this silly little TikTok where I'm like, she's asexual. And someone in the queer community, because at first I was like, is this a robot or a hater or someone who's just trying to rip me to shreds? Someone in the comments commented, and very similar, was like, this is not asexuality. This is, and was like very, very upset. And so then I responded, kind of trying to, like, it's always so hard in the comments, because it's like, are you a real person? For anyone who's watching, 10% of people online are robots.
Yep.
And that stat is actually higher but
now.
We can say that for sure. And as content creators, we all know that a lot of the comments or things are robots. So at first I'm like, is this a human? Then I checked it was a human and tried to respond in a loving way, but also tried to stand up for myself, because I'm not okay with people attacking me online when I'm a nice lady just trying to like heal these hoes
and making a joke
about Wednesday Addams,
about a fictional character,
who could very well is giving cues of asexuality, could be ace, But
you
anyway,
doing that, someone seeing that and being like,
and you weren't making fun of her.
No, but this person dragged me. Like, did I respond? And anyway, and I'm like, this is why I should never respond to comments. But I really relate. And then this person ended up making a video response to my video. And it like turned into a little micro thing. Like, I don't think it was a big deal. But I'm really grateful it happened, because this person got very upset. And in their video, I believe their pronouns are they, them. In their video, they were saying, I am asexual. Or I think they were saying they are demi and their partner is truly ace. And we're talking about the differences of that. And we're very angry. And what I really am starting to pick up on culturally, politically, in the queer community and in the sex positive space is asexual people have gotten the short end of the stick. They have been ignored. The research has been put away. We're finally talking about this demographic of people, and a lot of ace people are like coming out and being public figures and being influencers, and it's amazing. And then all of a sudden demisexuality comes, and now you have all of these people being like, wait, that's me, and now I'm asexual. And then you have this whole wave of people who do not understand the struggle, the community, and are not also necessarily maybe showing cues, like Vanessa Duffy. I believe that she's she's someone who's educated. I'm like, if you say you're demi, I believe you. But I could also completely understand how seeing this very conventionally beautiful, curvy, sex party woman saying that she's demisexual will make a whole population of people who are asexual and struggle with that every day with regards to how people treat them, talk about them, don't include them in things. Fun fact, I don't know if I'll say this after, because this person isn't out, and I was about to say, like, one of the people on the pleasure science team is like proudly ace, and I love that, because it's like we have an ace person like on, but I was about to say like more details that would out who they are, and we're not going to do that. But I don't actually think that this person would care, because we talk about it all the time. But all that to say, like, I've experienced it. Like, I have a lot of ace people in my life, and I've seen people get activated and upset about like demisexuality. And I think a big part of that is because there are so many people. Like, I remember talking to one of my friends who's like a straight girl who, like, bless her, she's like a Susie cream cheese. I mean, like, couldn't spot a dildo in a lineup, you know, very innocent.
Yeah.
And I explained demisexuality to her, and she's like, oh my God, that's me. And I didn't want to invalidate her, but a part of me was like, I totally hear how you relate to the experience, but like, I can also see how someone else would be really pissed that you hear about an identity and then 2 seconds later, that's what you believe you are. And I think people can relate to demisexuality more than asexuality.
Yeah.
And so I, and
that's also,
it's a whole thing now.
I remember when I first heard about demisexuality ever, and that's why I was like, oh, maybe that's me. But then this person was like, well, I don't know if I believe it because like everyone always needs connection. So then I always just like, I just kind of like cancel.
That's also not true.
Not true.
Yeah. Like, we all need some sort of connection. And
yes,
I'm just like,
a connection.
I mean, maybe the dick is the connection.
I was going to say, consent is the connection.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what is that a thing?
I
that's
love
my
that,
sexuality.
though. That's very cute.
Thank you.
I think consent is your connection.
You can have that. If you ever need to, you know, just the little one-liners. Yeah, that's the consent is the connection for someone like me. With that though, because of you were talking about, it's the libido and the what's the other part of it?
So it has nothing to do with libido. That's the
Yeah, but it's libido, and there were two things you were saying that
like sexual orientation, the who.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
it's more about the who than the libido.
That's what I'm trying. So the distinction difference though is it seems, and please correct me if I'm wrong, with someone who's demisexual, is that there is more of a pursuit of a reward for the libido once you've made that connection with the person.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Right?
Yeah.
Versus someone who's asexual, where it's like, I can have the connection with the person, but I don't need the libido satisfaction. It's just you and me.
Yeah.
And me and my partner.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm cool with it. I can go over here, masturbate, get off on whatever, and be fine. But it seems as though with Demi, it's like there is a pursuit to maybe hope that there's...
To have a sexual relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good distinction. And probably why a lot of people in the ace community feel frustrated, right? Because it's like, oh, well, in demisexuality, as you said, a lot of the people who I know that are demisexual are still having a goal of having a love and sex relationship. And asexual people, I know a lot of ace people who are married and do have sex, and that's enjoyable and that's consensual, but sex is not centered, and it's not like you have entered into a relationship where everyone is like, if we don't have sex for a long time, that's okay. This isn't like what we need, you know?
Oh my God, that's me.
I was about to say, yes.
I could go months without having sex and honestly be fine and not sexually frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe
but does that include masturbation? Like, you'd be masturbating?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Wow. Okay.
When I was single, I think maybe I'll get a little bit more frustration, but I think like in hindsight now, as I think about it, and I'm not single anymore, I think it was just more out of just loneliness. Yeah. You know, because of just like, because I just was really wanting a partner. But like now that I'm in this loving relationship, and sex is great. It's not like I don't want to not have sex with them because it's bad. It's just like, I don't need it for me to feel like happy in the relationship at all.
Because you seem to get because you can get the satisfaction somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's your connection with Brian. It's hanging out with him. It's doing things. It's going out to dinner. Yep. So it doesn't need.
I don't need the sex.
And so you see how there's that spectrum element of this. But I will also say, with your situation, it's important to say, you're attracted to men. You're attracted to Brian. That makes you not asexual. Yeah. Because it doesn't. What you're expressing with like ability to go months without sex and not centering sex in the relationship is more having to do with libido than who you are attracted to. You know, and and so this is why the asexual conversation, it's like it's confusing.
It is.
And and people are trying to like be good to each other. Well, my assumption is people are trying to be good to each other. Yeah. But in the ace community, I think there's a lot of hurt and anger and like desire to be seen and celebrated and control like the narrative of that and not have, you know, a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about being like, and now I'm ace or I'm and you know.
So is there like, can we do like a little rundown of a quiz to see if I'm actually demisexual? Like,
I mean, it
can
sounds
you like,
like
can you diagnose me? Can we like
do it now?
Can we do, can like, what are like maybe some like characteristics and factors that you could like questions that you could ask me and I could like check off and maybe we could like maybe just get it finalized? Because I think it's like for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I am, but I'm also like, am I? I don't know. Like, am I just saying that but I don't really know all
also,
the
when it
things.
comes to orientation and labeling, you can be more than one thing. Like, I am queer, but I also identify as bisexual and pansexual. Like, you could call me any of those labels. And I'm like, you know,
I mean, I think my like bi curiosity is like still there. Like, I think I mean, and I was gonna ask you this, and maybe we could just off air, maybe we could do another episode where I was like, I don't even know how to flirt with girls. Like guys, I could easily flirt with, and I feel more confident in that. But with girls, I've never even kissed a girl. I don't even know how to flirt with them. I only know how to be friends with them and like have them be my sister. You know, but like I don't know how to like. But I've been attracted, you know, to girls and stuff. And so it's like, it's there, but I never had feelings for any girls. I've never like, even kissed. Cause like, I remember, Rose always tells me, she's like, I'm shocked you haven't made out with any of her friends. I'm like, I'm not
just in like high school. It's just like,
no, but I don't make out with my friends because my friends are very much like family to me.
It's a safe space.
It's a safe space. So to me, I'm like, it's like kissing a sister. And I think I've always craved a sister because I don't have a sister. So I think that's why I put like my friends in that box. But I'm not like against ever doing that. And again, I do need a level of comfort. I don't want it to be like a stranger.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to go between that balance of like, okay, I do need a connection that feels like safe. Like I, you know, maybe have some sort of friendship with them, but I also don't want to just go make out with my friends. Like go make out with Rose just because I need to kiss a girl, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like the thought of that. I'm like,
if you want to see that happen, the polls will just
subscribe to the Patreon.
Right? Okay.
Like I'm not like I'm not gonna go do that. I'm not gonna there's none of my friends that I'm ever like, okay, let me just go make out with them real quick and like get that. Like I can't think of any of them. Like none of them. But at the same time, it's like, but I don't want to go to a stranger. So I don't like, I think that's why for me to explore like that bi-curious side of me, I'm like, I don't know where to start.
I'd say a good place to start if you're in the position of like you're partnered and stable in the partnership is dating apps, because you can be very clear about like what's hard with flirting and connecting and exploring sexuality, but you're in a relationship, is there's a lot of stuff to share with someone to make sure. And so what's great about dating apps is like, oh, you could say like, hey, this is me. This is what I'm excited about. I'm partnered. So then people who are women who are connecting with you are like good to go. Okay. Another, like, I really like, if we're thinking of like going to events, Skirt Club is also awesome.
I was gonna have Homegirl on, but then we had to reschedule and stuff. But
Skirt Club is a really good place. It's for women, by women. It's a
I just want to like eat a vagina out, you know, or maybe get my vagina eaten, and I just want a set of tits in my face.
Yeah,
you know.
Skirt Club is nice, but but Skirt Club. I want to go off someone's skirt
too.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that.
You know, like I've never done it.
Yeah,
I never kissed a girl. I'm a virgin.
Hey, oh my God.
And going to queer stuff though, there's a lot of queer stuff in LA.
Yeah,
like going to like if you ever, I'll let you know. I like am so bad and have not gone out much.
I also want to like rub my clit on another clit.
Yeah, it's
sorry.
Tibbing.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. Dates back to ancient Greece.
Lebos. Yeah.
Anyways, wait.
Yeah. And your other question was questions to know if you're demisexual.
Yes. Before we wrap this up, I guess maybe go through the question, like
the main marker of demisexuality is that all the time, if not 90% of the time, you experience arousal that is like for someone, you desire another person after you get to know them.
So
you're not going to experience spontaneous arousal very much, if not at all.
No, I mean only ones I feel like maybe like might be spontaneous is if like there's like a certain artist.
But see,
like
so
music,
then you
and then
have
I'm
a
like,
parasocial relationship with them.
Yeah, because
so
problematic. Chris Brown gets me horny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm listening to the music and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, he does it for a lot of people.
You know?
I'm not team Chris
Brown. I know. Problematic.
I mean, but a lot of people like him. A lot of people like him.
No king shaming terrible people.
Terrible people. Sometimes you just, or like K1, paint your nails. And she's a lesbian. Paint your nails the way I like them.
Yep.
And like hot. That lady could rub my clit.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week.
Any day that ends
I will do my nails, and I never do my nails. I get my nails done. I paint my nails, and I will do it for her.
Hey.
Okay.
And I'll keep them short.
But that's the arousal part.
Okay, so
you have a parasocial relationship with these artists. For anyone who doesn't know what parasocial means, it's like I think Timothée Chalamet is just like the cutest thing since sliced bread. I've been dating him in my head for years.
Yeah, you did tell me about this.
I have so that's
so
a parasocial.
Happy for you guys, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. No, me too.
I'll see you at the premiere of Marty Supreme. It's gonna be
whatever
great.
it is.
Yeah,
whatever he's doing next.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
You know the schedule. It's fine.
We love
you got it.
We love you, Timmy. But like, so when I first saw him in a movie, I fell for this character he played, and then I watched interviews of him. So now I have a crush, and I have a parasocial relationship with this celebrity, and so I'm demisexual, but I know that I only desire him because of the projects he's chosen that I've liked and interviews I've watched. And
sing and
now,
dance.
I'm like, hey Wonka, now I'm like, okay, I like you. I could. Oh man, when he was Wonka, that did something.
That was a really good movie.
That did something to me.
Yeah, okay.
Girl, Kylie, I am so proud of you for locking that man down. Do not let him out of your sight, girl. But
and if you do, he will be here.
I'm available for now. But yeah, so I would say that still falls into demisexuality because you have a parasocial relationship with these artists. You like things about them. You've connected to, like, Chris Brown activates you. But like, if you saw Chris Brown on the street and he was not a notable artist that you would have known, you had no reason to know him ahead of time. No, you probably would just walk right by him. Like if I saw Timothée Chalamet
dancing in the street, I'll probably be like,
yeah, right. But then he's showing something that is
that's true.
Creating admiration. So admiration creates arousal. By the way,
so there's research involved. There has Demi seems like there's some researching.
Oh yeah.
It's
definitely something that has been around at least for 10, if not more years as like a term and is like a credible thing that you can be. But yeah, I would say you do check the marks of like someone who's demisexual because it's like
I've been diagnosed by a professional now.
Yeah, like that all of those things are demisexuality, but you can see how it's hard to like
because I literally like that's why porn I never like got into porn because it doesn't turn me on.
Totally.
It doesn't turn me on.
It only turns me on when I know when I've like connected to the porn star.
And I keep thinking about production and like,
God, I know. You overthink it.
I overthink it. I'm like, the lighting was a little off. And I don't know, you see someone get up in the mirror in the back and you're like, what the fuck?
Well, when I started as a sex scholar, I started by studying porn and I could do that because of my demisexuality. Yeah. I would sit there with popcorn being like, all right, let's go. Let's go.
It does nothing to me. Yeah. And when I'm at play parties, I don't get horny just seeing all of these naked, beautiful bodies fucking.
Same. It's like I love it, but it's not.
But I'm not like, oh my God, like that's really hot. Let me go, like, whatever. Like I did not get any sort of arousal turned on by any of it.
And like I think I told this story on the show last time I was here, but like the last time I had sex at a sex party, it was this year. And again, this is super rare for me. I should say the last time I had sex with a new person at a sex party. And he looked like Jon Snow. He looked like a fictional character I have a parasocial relationship
you did mention
with.
this, yeah.
So I'm like, that was an interesting moment where I'm like, oh, I'm experiencing spontaneous desire because you look like something my brain has already associated. Like I've already masturbated to this archetype. I already have so
let's go red wedding. Let's go, bro.
I was on my period, so it was a red wedding.
Go red wedding.
Yeah, no, he ate it. He fucked it.
Did you tell him to have an accent? Did he have an accent?
He didn't have an accent, and he didn't know about any of the. No, he was like calling me a goddess. Rubbing me down. He was great. He was a good boy. He was very.
Good.
I mean, he does sound like a Jon Snow. Yeah, bend up a knee for my queen. You know.
Yeah, no, he was great. That was 100% the vibe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This. Okay. Now I've been officially diagnosed with demisexual.
Congratulations!
Yes.
Yeah.
So next time someone yells at you in the comments, you can say no.
I've been diagnosed by a professional.
Yeah.
And I was diagnosed with OCD earlier this week. Look at me.
Look at you getting diagnosed.
Look at me getting diagnosed
in your tracksuit.
In my tracksuit. Yeah.
I love this because it almost does feel kind of like a mathematical equation. So it's like libido plus sexual orientation.
So libido is never a part of
never
it.
a part
Well,
of it.
no, but I'm saying if the substitution of it though. I'm so confused. You did say libido did matter.
Libido. So I liked what you had said earlier where you were like demisexual people want the reward of sexual gratification, but an asexual person would not want it.
Which is why then my mathematical equation for asexual would be sexual orientation subtract.
It's like libido is the rising.
Yes. I was doing demisexual math first.
Yes.
Demisexual math seems to be sexual orientation, parentheticals, libido plus stimulation of research, getting to know someone through their brain, seeing them as a person equals the result of sexual eating your tibbing, whatever you would like. But then if the mathematical equation to do the A, it would be the sexual orientation, the idea of connection with someone, subtract libido.
Yeah. I'd say that's that's
what I was trying to
get
at.
Way to do that. Way to do that.
I'm not good at math too. So this
is the most mathematical I've seen you.
It's the outfit. Let's be honest. I'm actually the broke girl therapy accountant, aka your father.
Yeah, my father.
I'm Poppy 2.0. Yeah. But yeah, it feels like it's the subtraction and adding, and then the idea of the degrees added to it.
Yeah.
Where the closer you get to demisexual, the more libido, or the idea of the consent connection is what I am, where it's the kind of more Samantha, but also I'm not turned on by porn at all because I'm friends with a lot of porn stars and they've ruined it for me in the best way possible.
Before though, when you were younger, did you get?
I mean, kind of, but it was always one of those things that I always watched lesbian porn because I just knew when a woman was faking. Even when I was younger, I was just like, she doesn't look like she's having fun. Yeah. You know? And then as a feminist, as a baby feminist, and the whole, feminists have such a tough conversation when it comes to like porn, but the idea of porn versus erotica. And then the idea of finding erotica fiction, which is, as someone who loves to read, like that's the stuff that turns me on, right? Fiction. Like I love good smut, or the idea of like music. I could masturbate. I have a whole I
love a good playlist.
Playlist, right? And so then it's like the idea of like that kind of thing. So even when I was like younger, like porn just always, I was like, it's right on you, girls, go get your money. But like for the most part, it just wasn't
something you would turn to for
I could do the popcorn eating, and like if I was with someone and we were watching porn, like obviously because I was like,
that would
it's
be
right
hot
here.
Because it's
But but that's where it's like I'm the idea of the desire and libido thing is then that mathematical equation would just be slightly the subtraction of this idea, but then still having the connection of someone who's physically with me versus this like projection of watching two strangers have sex. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I haven't been to a sex party yet. But
oh my God, you need to. You would have a good time. You have the personality for it.
Okay. I just but again, I feel like I would kind of be like
you'd step into a room like, anyone okay? Anyone need condoms?
Yeah.
That would be Rose.
I would love to be like maybe a fluffer. Just like checking on people.
Yeah.
Like you
would be like the second hand, be like, okay, hold the ball, like hold the dick up while they get into the balls a little bit.
Because my idea is that I don't know if I could do that. Like I don't know if
provide the lube, like hand it off to them. God,
I would love to be
It feels good to have a task at a party because so often when we go to parties, a reason why we're anxious is because we don't have anything to do.
And that is why I make you should come to my birthday party.
Oh, yes.
I have games so that people can like interact with each other and like have like things to do, you know. But yeah.
Can we do karaoke at your party?
Oh, girl, don't ruin it. I have so many secrets happening at this party. Well, it's Love Island theme, so I'll send you the.
Yay! I haven't watched Love Island
need,
yet, but
totally fine.
I know the gist.
The whole two things: you either dress up like a contestant from Love Island or the hottest version of yourself. So just show up like this, babe.
I will.
What should I wear? Should I wear a tracksuit?
You should watch that tracksuit and then tell everyone that you're wearing nothing underneath it. Because if you're wearing that tracksuit, you could be physically the hottest person. Because you'd be like, I'm hot in this tracksuit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll get another tracksuit. I think this might be my thing.
Yeah.
It looks great. Yeah.
I feel like a little like hip hop teacher.
You look really Demi in that tracksuit.
I look like a Demi.
Yeah.
You know what? I love Demi Lovato.
I know. She's great.
Hey.
Stars are flying. Sorry, anyways.
I love Skyscraper. Right?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like Stone Cold.
Oh, I love Stone
I hate that one.
What?
It overly sung. I love her, but doing too much.
Oh, but that's why I love it. Because you know I love a Barbara. I love a Barbara Streisand. You know, just like the...
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Like,
I love
an over dramatic.
Yeah, like Where can people find you or take your quiz?
Yes. Okay. So if you want to know your flirt style, go to pleasurescience.com/flirt. You could take the flirt quiz. Super simple. If you want to say hi to me, just follow me at Pleasure Science on Instagram, on TikTok. You could check out the Pleasure Science podcast on YouTube. We're gonna have a special episode with Steph, where I'm actually gonna be doing sex coaching live, which we did the first time on Broke Girl. So you guys need to watch that Broke Girl episode and then come to the Pleasure Science pod and then watch the 2.0, the next step.
We'll get to it.
And that, if you look up Pleasure Science, you will find me, Nadege, the sex scholar.
Sex goddess.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey, scholar goddess.
Scholar goddess.
She should wear the glasses.
I have a lot of glasses.
Okay,
I have contacts on. I would take it, but I have contacts on right now, so then it'll be like painful and I'll get cross-eyed.
And also, I only have, it's just this eye. So you'll be it's my left eye. I'm left eye.
I am not good at vision.
I creep.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of glasses.
It on the download.
And I keep it on the download at Rose_Etta Stone or the new blog on the block.com or Butch Bitch. Book Bitch. I gave him Butch vibes today.
I was gonna say, you definitely
I'm giving the
Butch.
history math teacher substitute.
Like, I'm surprised you're not a lesbian.
I am too.
Everyone says that. Can I just say?
She's a lesbian.
It is the greatest.
I fuck all the holes.
All the holes.
Yeah, every hole is a goal.
Oh!
Every hole is a
You're
goal.
killing it today with the one-liner.
It's Rose.
Thanks. It's my full name, Roseanne One-Liner McAleese.
Hey.
It's things, but yeah, every hole's a goal. No, I just help
plug
out
your
lesbians.
Venmo?
My Venmo's at Rosetta. Oh, is Rose_Etta Stone.
And then follow me, Stephanie Megan, or go to brocotherapy.com. All that shit is there. And let me know what color tracksuit I should wear next.
Ooh, pay for it and send her money.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brocotherapy Venmo. Thank you.
Broke girl therapy.